A royal mistress is the historical position of a mistress to a monarch or an heir apparent. Some mistresses have had considerable power. These powerful mistresses have been commonly referred to as the power behind the throne. The prevalence of the institution can be attributed to the fact that royal marriages were until recent times conducted solely on the basis of political and dynastic considerations, leaving little space for the monarch's personal preferences in the choice of a mate. In European history, the children of mistresses were not normally included in the line of succession, except perhaps when secret marriages were alleged. Hence the Monmouth Rebellion, when James Scott, 1st Duke of Monmouth, claimed the thrones of England and Scotland on the grounds that his mother had been the wife, rather than a mistress, of Charles II. Royal mistresses in English history: Edith Swannock, mistress to King Harold II. Rosamund Clifford, mistress to Henry II. Alice Perrers, mistress to Edward III. Jane Shore, mistress to Edward IV. Bessie Blunt, mistress to Henry VIII. Mary Boleyn, mistress to Henry VIII. Anne Boleyn, mistress to Henry VIII. Royal mistresses in Scottish history: Margaret Erskine, mistress to James V. Royal mistresses in British history: Lucy Walter, mistress to Charles II. Barbara Villiers, 1st Duchess of Cleveland, mistress to Charles II. Louise de Querouaille, Duchesses of Portsmouth, mistress to Charles II. Nell Gwyn, mistress to Charles II. Moll Davis, mistress to Charles II. Hortense Mancini, mistress to Charles II. Arabella Churchill, mistress to James II. Catherine Sedley, Countesses of Dorchester, mistress to James II. Elizabeth Villiers, mistress to William III. Erengard Melusine von der Schulenburg, Duchess of Kendal and Munster, mistress to George I. Henrietta Howard, Countess of Suffolk, mistress to George II. Mary Scott, Countess of Deloraine, mistress to George II. Amalia von Walmoden, Countess of Yarmouth, mistress to George II. Hannah Lightfoot, mistress to George III. Maria Ann Fitzherbert, mistress to George IV. Frances Villiers, Countesses of Jersey, mistress to George IV. Grace Elliott, mistress to George IV. Mary Robinson, mistress to George IV. Marchioness of Hertford, mistress to George IV. Marchioness Conyngham, mistress to George IV. Dorothy Jordan, mistress to Prince William, who later became William IV. Sarah Bernhardt, mistress to Edward VII. Jenny Jerome, mistress to Edward VII. Lily Langtry, mistress to Edward VII. Daisy Greville, Countess of Warwick, mistress to Edward VII. Alice Keppel, mistress to Edward VII. Agnes Kaiser, mistress to Edward VII. Freda Dudley Ward, mistress to Edward VIII. Lady Furness, mistress to Edward VIII. Wallace Simpson, mistress and later wife to Edward VIII. Camilla Parker Bowles, mistress and later wife to Charles, Prince of Wales. Royal mistresses in European history: Anna Mons, Anna Lopukina, Caroline Lacroix, Diane de Poitiers, Josephine de Beauharnais, Hedvig Tauber, Katharina Schratt, Lola Montez, Madame de Pompadour, Magda Lupescu, Maria Nereshkina, Maria Perez de Enzara, mistress to Afonso III of Portugal. Marie, Countess Warlewski, Mary Vetsera, Baroness, Bianca Capello, Rosa Vercellana, Sophie Amalia Mott.